right, let's enjoy some stuff.
The Division 2, and we are from MyGamer.com. Gillman is on the helm, as always, controlling. I am at Zack Gaz on Twitter, ZACKGAZ, and Gillman here is already in the 20s in the level, with his level.
I'm almost
20,
22.
almost 22.
Yeah. And a couple people in my clan have alts that are pretty much already 30.
Is that the highest rank, 30?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Damn. I thought it was 50, but that's like Destiny numbers.
Yeah. And normally it goes up to... I don't know why they haven't increased it. Like, the first game it was 50. I don't want to do echoes right now. They take so long and they're super boring if you're not into the game.
So you're just going to play some solo missions?
I mean, yeah, I'm just going to run around and do some solo crap. Show you what's good in the hood. Stuff like that.
So does the story directly transfer over from Division 1?
So that's one of the complaints, is that, like, there's like I guess there's unresolved stuff from Division 1 that they don't touch on in this game. I honestly don't remember.
Yeah.
I played and beat the Division 1. I didn't beat any of the I didn't play or beat any of the expansions. So I am unable to vouch for any of that.
Okay.
But I've definitely heard that there's story elements that they didn't touch on that they could have.
Okay. Yeah, because we streamed the Division 1 when it first came out, and we thought it was, pretty good. That was like when it first launched, too, and I know they made like a bunch of updates. They added a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, that game, when that game launched, I didn't get it when it first launched. That game launched rough. They also worked really hard to fix it too. You had to queue, like you would get jobs from like terminals and safe houses and shit.
Yeah.
And you actually had to stand in line because like people couldn't use the same, like, a terminal at the same time, which is like a pretty, like, what the fuck are you thinking thing.
Where do you get missions now from? Still from like your home base, though, right?
No. They just kind of hand them out to you. Like, it's just something that sort of...
Jeez.
Yeah, they just sort of, like, as you progress through, they're just sort of like, hey, you want to, like, mission? Like, we'll give you missions. And you just have missions at that point. It's not like you find another safe house and you have to, like, look up missions or something like that.
Yeah.
At this point, it's just, you go to, like, this place over here, which I'll show you one of the settlements, and they're just like, oh, hey, here's a bunch of stuff that would be really cool if you could do for us, and you can do most of the side quests whenever you want.
What's the story with this? Like, there was a nuclear bomb, and then like there's something.
A virus.
Like, what? Oh, virus. Okay, and so some people are like dead or dying, and then there's really no like law and order. So there's just these group of division people that are essentially like the only remaining like so-called like police.
So what it was during the very first game was oh, that's a nice glitch. It's great because there are glitches like fucking constantly.
Yeah.
I have some pretty fun ones. But I've like taken screenshots of some pretty funny ones. They So, here are all the side missions and stuff, and then there's like control points that you can take over that you don't necessarily have to do.
Side missions are in red, or those are ones that you already completed?
No, side missions are like these guys. They'll straight up say side mission on them.
Oh, okay. Oh, gotcha. All right.
And then,
Orange.
like, main mission, it'll be over here and it'll say main mission. Just straight up say main mission on it.
Oh, okay.
But this area is. But this main mission is. Oh, it's level 20. I could technically do that if I wanted to, but it's like way the fuck over there.
Yeah. To unlock those areas of the map, you have to, like in Assassin's Creed, where you got to climb the tower and view the thing to like unlock all the missions to see everything in that area, or you just kind of like wander and eventually just start unlocking things.
For the side missions and stuff, they're just question maps or question marks on your.
Okay.
Yeah, it's nothing big. Projects. That's what I wanted.
Yeah, I played the first Division when there was like a weekend where it went free to play on Xbox, and I remember I played it for, maybe like an hour or two, and thinking, you know what, this isn't so bad.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I have to complete shit here.
What do you think are some of the main differences between the first game and this sequel?
That's a good question that I don't necessarily know I have an answer for. The setting's entirely different.
Yeah, this is right around DC, right around the White House. I forget where the first one was, but
New York.
I don't think it was. Oh, okay.
And there have been people that say, like, yeah, I live in DC, and this is a pretty accurate representation of DC. And from what I remember, like, I've been to New York City a couple of times, and that was a relatively accurate representation of New York City. Like, I wouldn't say, like, oh, you're never going to get lost in New York City, but, like, all of the major landmarks were there, and it looked like fucking New York City. Yeah, so it looks like DC. I've been to DC once. When I was a Boy Scout.
Yeah.
And then you get, like, these collectibles that'll, like, clue you in what was happening. And then you get this.
Oh.
It's funny because a friend of mine and I were playing this together, and you go to, like, the Air and Space Museum, and we were fucking around in there, and, like, there are bad guys in the Air and Space Museum, and they were, like, setting off explosives and traps and stuff. And we just started laughing hysterically because we both got offended at the same time when they fucking... Yeah, okay, I just came from there, thanks. When they tried to blow up the fucking space shuttle to stop you, we were both like, that's a literal national treasure.
Yeah.
And we were like, there's literally only so many of those left, and you're blowing one up for no fucking reason. What the fuck are you doing? And we were both, like, just blown away, like... And we had to stop and be like, this is only a fucking video game. What the fuck?
Those dudes have tons of health with their bomb blast suits.
Those are, like, the ultra elites.
Echo nearby.
What's up with your purple gun?
Oh, I put a skin on it.
Okay.
And
Is that a sniper rifle, or...?
That is a sniper rifle, but what I did to my sniper rifle is took my sniper rifle and put reflex sights on it so I can just use it like a normal gun.
Oh.
And, you know, like most games are just like, oh, sniper rifles are just, you know, super duper powerful. And so I just use my sniper rifle as a normal gun now. And, like, run around and just attack people with it. And it destroys them. Like, super unfairly. And that's the thing you can do.
Where are you getting shot from?
All over the place.
Yeah. The gunplay seems pretty accurate. Like it seems like it feels pretty good.
Yeah. It's not something that I complain about. And normally when I die, it's like I straight up know that it's because I was doing something dumb.
Yeah, like don't go fight 10 guys at one time.
Or if I was fighting 10 guys at one time, I was, you know, I wasn't like being conservative. You know, I was taking off more than I could chew.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't like using like my special abilities. You know, stuff like that. It's stuff that like I 100% almost always blame myself for.
What are some of the perks you can unlock?
There's all kinds of like special abilities and stuff that you get eventually.
Hostage is dead.
Oh, thanks. The hostage is dead.
All hostages are deceased.
You know, all you had to do as a hostage was literally not get shot. That's all I wanted you to do.
Yeah.
Couldn't do that one thing.
Does that mean the mission's or was that the objective? Was to
It's
save
a
the
side
hostage?
mission. It's a literal side mission, but it's still fucking obnoxious.
Portable device detected.
Because like you go out of your way to do that shit.
Manny?
Hey, Mom.
Where are you? Are you okay? Have you talked to your brother?
Slow down, Mom. I'm okay. We're shipping out tomorrow. They haven't told us where yet.
You're not in New York, are you? They say it's really bad over there.
No, I'm not in New York, Mom. Look, did you stock up on fresh water like I told you?
I have 20 gallons. Carl will help me. He's a good neighbor.
Good. And food?
And food. Look, Manny, I understand that things are much worse than they're saying on the news, but Ortega! Mount up! We're going!
Crap. I gotta go, Mom. Call you again. Okay. Look after yourself.
I will.
Yeah, like people will like they'll flank you efficiently. That stuff's pretty cool. Stuff like that. So, any new gaming news that you've been looking forward to?
You know what? There was just a Nintendo Direct with some Nindies, which I did not watch yet. It just came out today, just actually a couple hours ago. And like, there's some like indie developer game that has like some like Zelda kind of side mission. I forget what it was. I know that's a horrible, no details on that. But and then they just released. The one thing I did see was they just made Blaster Master 02. And they announced it today on the Nindies, and then it's also available today. So they announced it, so it comes out the same day it's announced. And what's funny about that is I just beat the first game on Switch, not even a month ago, I want to say, because I bought the game on sale. It was on sale for 50% off. It was $5, so I bought it. But at the time, I didn't have a chance to play it because I was playing other stuff. And then I was, play it, like an hour here, an hour there over the course of like a couple of weeks, and I beat it. And so I just finished it, and then bam, here we are with a sequel that just kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah, I've heard really good things about Blaster Master 02. Or
yeah,
I should say Blaster Master 0 as well in this context.
Right. Yeah, it was pretty good. I think it was. What I liked about it is they took the original Blaster Master format, but they modernized it. The original first Blaster Master on Nintendo didn't have a map. There was no indicator on really where to go. You just had to kind of guess and figure it out yourself. Here they got rid of all that for you, and they're like, yeah, we're gonna give you a map. We're gonna give points and tell you where to go, and so they made it easier on the player for sure. So I liked it. It wasn't. I would give it maybe like an 8 out of 10. It wasn't perfect. There was some bad backtracking segments and things like that, but for the most part, it was still a pretty good game.
I mean, I know it's an unpopular opinion, but I really never got into Blaster Master.
Yeah, I tried playing the original Blaster Master dozens of times, and it's like, fuck, I don't know where to go. Like, give me a map, That was my biggest complaint about it. And then there was another, there was Blaster Master Boy for Game Boy Color, which was kind of like a reimagining.
I was gonna say, wasn't that the same game though?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't the same. It was like very similar, but not the exact same. Like it took heavy inspiration. It looked like it. It felt like it, but it was totally different map layouts and everything. So it's kind of like a Blaster Master like 2, right? But was not the same. But yeah, Blaster Master. If you gotta play one of those games, Blaster Master Zero would be the place to start, just because it is a modern. It's an old game, but with modern luxuries, so it feels good. It plays well. So to get a sequel, I was like, oh, I like that. This is something I want to check out because I enjoyed the first one. And then Google just announced their new console.
Yeah, and if you read between the lines in that looks like shit.
I did not have a chance to watch the GDC developer conference about it, and I haven't had a chance to even read. I just saw some headlines and some things, but I know it's always online and it's just streaming.
It's streaming only.
Progress
Do
resumed.
you remember I reviewed On Live?
That's exactly where I was just going to go, because when we went to E3, there was Game Streamer, there was On Live.
Do you remember
there was something else.
You made me review all of those because I had done one, and you were like,
Yeah,
well, your excuse was, well, you did one, so you'll be able to compare it to the other ones. And I was like, all I thought is, fuck you.
And you were the only one that had the best PC. I mean, this was Game Streamer.
I was the only one that was a PC gamer and knew
that
the
had
lingo enough to yell at him. And one of them, it wasn't On Live, but it was another one.
It was one of them. It was called Game Streamer.
Oh, was it? I actually got an interview with the CEO of one of them.
Yes, that was game. That should have been game. Yeah, it was Game Streamer, and then we played, and then I know we did some other stuff with online, and then I want to say there was a third streaming service, and I can't remember now. But Game Streamer was the big one, because I remember at that one E3, I got a Game Streamer tote bag or something, like some swag with the Game Streamer logo on it, some crap they were giving away. And I remember I had it, I was using this dumb bag for groceries for a while. But so we covered Game Streamer stuff, and it never really worked right, and that's why it's no longer a thing,
Well, and the thing is, if you read between the lines with the Google one, the one thing, and everyone's so excited and oh, Google's gonna revolutionize this and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
You know what? The one thing that so you and I instantly are this is gonna flop real bad. I got a lot of questions. I want to see it live for myself. My only you want to know what the real answer is? Do you know what I got 5 minutes into it, and I heard the magical term of on Google's internet, and I instantly went,
oh,
no one has caught the fact that that this is only going to work like this on Google Fiber.
Oh, I did not hear this detail at all.
No one has caught on to it, and I think that they're very subtly trying to downplay it. But
yeah, I heard that it takes you need a 30 megabit connection at all times to play anything well. You need a pretty fast connection.
30 megabit is not.
It's not
now?
It's not fast now, but there's some areas that still don't have speeds like that. I have Comcast here, and I'm pushing 80 or something like that, whatever my speed is. And I know there's plenty out there that are 100, but for some areas, I think getting 30 is going to be pretty rough. My only saving grace with where On Live failed and Game Streamer, if there's anybody that can pull it off, it is going to be Google. I mean,
and here's the thing though, and here's what really kind of they want to get. Everyone is going after Steam, is what it is. Is everyone is trying to get a piece of that Steam pie, and
Sure.
it's all about making. And you're not going to own these games. You're leasing these games.
Yeah, I think you're totally right with the whole Steam thing. I mean, like what Epic just opened their own store recently
Yep.
too to start competing, and Discord's got their own games, and
Well, and the best thing about Discord that no one talks about, that people fucking love to forget, is Discord is really ban friendly. Like, I know that we have had review stuff on Discord for Discord before,
yeah,
but Discord likes to ban people over any and every infraction that they see, and they won't explain themselves. Because in their eyes, it's just a chat room still, and
Yeah.
like, oh, whatever, just create another account. But the thing is, if I've bought a game there and you banned me, like,
then you're not getting it. You can't log in to get it.
yeah, this
You
is
can't
this is
access
no
your content.
longer like you're trying to sell stuff now, guys. You're a store, and you're trying to ban people just because they disagree with like a moderator's and like the moderators are volunteer positions, which is another issue. So they're not really beholden to anything.
Yeah,
And, like, the Unreal Store has a bunch of stuff that's really weird, too. Like, there's no review system in the Unreal Store. And they're like, oh, we'll implement it. Oh, cool. They're like, oh, it's coming soon. But it's going to be completely optional, or developer opt-in. And it's like, how many games have you and I played that you know for a fact the developer would just be like, yeah, we're disabling reviews on this.
I mean, I think a lot of the games that we played, the developer is happy to get like anything, like, oh, you played our game, that's awesome. You reviewed it, that's even better. Like, just to have any kind of.
There's that, but there's also, how many times have you and I played stuff that it's just like, I'm sure that they would have rather had nothing said
Sure.
than probably what we had to say.
Yeah, I mean, well, we played, let's be honest, a lot of bad games over the years.
There,
Some
yeah,
broken games, bad games, unfinished games, buggy game. We
what was
played.
that one game that I played recently, and you're like, really, a 2? And I'm like, I would have given it lower, but it started
That was
the Civilization clone.
that was at the gates. Yeah.
Yeah, I was very, very upset about that.
I talked at the there's a Crypt of the Necrodancer, going back to my point about the Zelda game that was just announced today. Cadence of Hyrule. Today at an indie showcase, Nintendo revealed a semi-sequel spin-off to the indie hit Crypt of the Necrodancer set in the Legend of Zelda universe. Titled the incredibly wordy Cadence of Hyrule Crypt of the Necrodancer, featuring the Legend of Zelda. The game takes Necrodancer's gameplay and puts a Legend of Zelda skin over it in terms of music, monsters, and graphics. There wasn't a whole lot shown, but
to have another company,
yeah, that's exactly what I was just going to say. Is like Nintendo
doesn't do that.
If any, like Zelda, like you don't really touch. I mean, I guess like Capcom, made portable Zelda games before, but to have like an indie developer to be allowed to put a Zelda spin on something, that's kind of big. Like that's pretty important.
Well,
Yeah, the one thing that I'm like pretty excited about is fucking Capcom is like making games again. Did you see this? So they're making their it's been 50 years since Capcom, so they're celebrating their 50-year anniversary, and they're putting together 3 anniversary collections. I don't know if you've seen this or not, but they're making arcade, collection, a Castlevania collection, and a Contra collection. And the first collection, so each collection, there's again 3 of them, is going to have 8 games in each, and they announced all the games in the arcade collection, and they announced 4 games so far in the Castlevania collection, and they announced 4 games so far in the Contra collection. So, and they're going to be released digitally on everything. And each collection is only going to cost $20. So, like for example, the Castlevania collection, you already have the original Castlevania. You got Castlevania 2, which is on Game Boy, which is the best, the original Game Boy, which is the best original Game Boy game. They got Castlevania 3 on NES, and you got Super Castlevania 4. Now, what scares me about the Castlevania collection specifically is, of course, everybody's going to want Symphony of the Night, and everybody's going to want Rondo of Blood.
Yeah.
However, I don't think they're going to include those 2 games because they just recently, it was towards the end of last year, I want to say it was like for Halloween, they released that collection on PS4 for $20. Just those 2 games.
I think they will, because
I hope they will.
I think that they are reaching the... I think that they have just reached the, if people want this, they own it, and the people who are going to buy this are going to rebuy it for this. I think it's like one of those things that it's like, we can... Not Nintendo. Nintendo's a bad example, because like they won't put Mario on a collection anymore because they know people will buy Mario by itself. Thanks, eShop.
Yeah.
But like,
if you're putting together a like it would feel incomplete to not have Symphony of the Night,
not yet,
and to not have Rondo.
Yeah.
So I mean, if they did that, then it's like, would they drop? I forget what they called that collection on PS4. Like they need to drop that collection to like $5 or something because you're getting all these other Castlevania games. So it's like I hope they also somehow put on Aria of Sorrow, which is the Game Boy Advance game, and then Dawn of Sorrow. That would be.
They can't do Dawn of Sorrow because
they can't
you have to have a fucking
touch screen. You got the touch screen and you got the dual screen. So like there'd be some crazy emulation involved, or they would have to like somehow modify. Like the touchscreen stuff on the DS game sucked anyway. Like it shouldn't even have been there. They just did it because it's like, oh, it's a DS. We have to put some kind of touchscreen bullshit in. But that would be my vote. Like, yeah, put Rondo on there. Put Symphony of the Night. Put Aria.
If they could,
Go.
just so you know, if they could fucking get rid of that touchscreen bullshit.
Yeah.
That would literally be the definitive version of that game.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
there would
for
be
sure.
that, like, people would just go
People would buy it just for that.
insane.
Yeah,
people
that
would
would
go
be
insane for that.
For $20, dude. Like that is a killer. That is a fantastic deal, right? Like you get, eight games, and like, arguably every game is a good game as well in that collection. Some are just longer than others and everything. But I just, I'm happy to just see Konami not just sitting by and just kind of letting this opportunity pass them. They are doing something about it, which is cool, and then they're recognizing it with some arcade games. The arcade games, like, I'm not that excited about because they're arcade games. They're so they released that lineup. You got Haunted Castle, you got Life Force, which is also known as Salamander. You got Gradius, Scramble. I fucking hate Scramble. Thundercross, Twin Bee, Typhoon, and then Vulcan Venture, which is really Gradius too. So I mean, there's some good shooters on there, but if you're given
shooters.
Yeah, exactly. If you give me the option of, hey, which one do you want to get? Yeah, I'm definitely going Castlevania first. And then they also announced the Contra collection, and they just got the original Contra on NES, Super Contra, which is the arcade version of Contra. And here's the thing: the arcade version of the original Contra and the arcade version of Super Contra, which is Contra 2, those games suck. And those games are available. Maybe they're not available now on Xbox Live Arcade on 360, but maybe they still are. But they were re-released many years ago, back in like 2008 or 6 or whatever. Like the Xbox Live Arcade was like first born. That was one of the first like 2 arcade games ported. But the arcade versions of Contra suck. They're terrible in comparison to the console versions. You got Super C, which is the sequel on NES, and then you got Contra through the Alien Wars. So those are like, a pretty good, it's a pretty good lineup. I don't know what the other 4 are going to be. Maybe like, Shattered Soldier or something like that. Like I don't know how far they're going to go. Are they going to include PS2 games. That's going to be harder to emulate. Contra 4, which is the DS version. That's a good Contra, but again, you got the 2 screens. You can't. That game had wireless multiplayer. They'd have to somehow mod.
Contra 4 is really good.
Contra 4 is really good, but because Contra's all about playing co-op, right? And you could play co-op with Contra 4, but not on the same console. So they would have to mod the game. They'd have to mod the port to do that. So again, a lot of questions maybe, and I don't know what they're going to do, but and they're all going to be available this year.
My guess is they're not going to do anything difficult is the answer.
You're correct. I think they just want to slap these games on a disc or digitally, so to speak. Here,
what are they going to do?
But
nothing hard.
They don't want to. That's why they're just they're like, what? Let's make some money, and we don't want to make a new game because we're Konami. So let's just, rely on our history. But to give 8 games for $20, I think that's awesome. That'd be an easy day one purchase for me, even though I already own or have owned all or most of these games throughout the years. I still think that's a pretty awesome compilation.
Yeah, I won't argue with that. Especially if they're $20, I will probably buy most of them. I bought the Mega Man Legacy Collection.
So did I.
And the Mega Man X Legacy Collection.
Yeah. I didn't get the X Legacy Collection yet. I'm
a big X fan.
Yeah, X1, 2, and 3 are in my book still the best, and I'm just waiting for a good sale. And really, if I get some time
X4 is up there, but just most people haven't played it because that was just a really weird time.
I own all was it X4, 5. Yep. 6. I think those are on the PS1.
No, it's not.
PS3.
It's not. 6 is not out. They never re-released.
Okay,
that.
So then I have whatever. I have all 4, the ones 5, and Tron Bon, and then you got
Bonar, and I have all of those. But
yes. You got Legends, and I have Legends 1. So I have all the Mega Man games on PS3 that I could play. But I would still, I'm still interested in, I'm just waiting for, I bought the Mega Man collection, it was on sale for $5, on a flash sale or whatever. So I was that's worth $5 I'm going to buy. I bought the Disney Afternoon collection as well. That was on sale for $5 one time, so I actually played and beat all those games because, Tailspin's so fucking hard, but if you can use the rewind feature, it's actually this is playable now. So, yeah, but that was a pretty good collection as well.
I played the shit out of that game when I was a kid, and I don't even think that was fucking in the rental store ever.
Yeah, well, that Tailspin I think was one of the last, a later release too. Same thing with Chip and Dale too. That was a later release as well.
Was there a Chip and Dale 2?
Yeah, and it was better than the
DuckTales 2.
Then there was DuckTales 2 that nobody played. I actually owned a Game Boy.
I got the bad ending for that.
Yeah, because you have to you have to get all the you go to each level, and if you get the secret treasure, then you get the better ending and stuff. And
and you don't even get the last level if you don't.
And to get the treasures, actually kind of you got to know what you're doing.
That was the era of Nintendo Power.
For sure, absolutely. You needed that stuff. And then the other compilation that's actually comes out tomorrow is the SNK. Maybe I think it's already out on Steam, maybe. But you get the SNK 40th Anniversary Collection, where you get a bunch of their old arcade games and console games actually, and it's a really well put together collection for sure. It's all about history and preservation, which is good. Being honest, a lot of the SNK games, they are not good. They're not good. They're not fun. They're just flat out broke. If you ever play the arcade version of Athena, holy shit, what a broken piece of shit that game is. It sucks. It's not fun, but it's still historical. There's still some history and significance behind that game. And even though it sucks, it should be on the collection, and it is, and rightfully so, and it's still highlighted that way. But it's I'm glad that it's there and it exists, even though this game is.
That was back in the day that it was the main point was to be a quarter muncher. It was
Yeah, and this is for absolutely. And this game is, oh man, I can't even beat the game with like rewind features. It's so fucking hard and broken and inconsistent. Like you'll just be jumping through walls, and like sometimes you'll jump high, sometimes you'll jump low. It's so bad. Like it's a horrible game. But anyway, they did a really good job. I'm gonna review it soon for the site. But it's a really well put together collection. And yeah, I think it came out on Steam already, but it comes out on PS4 and Switch tomorrow as of the time of this recording.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it.
And they even said that they're going to be releasing more games for it as well. I don't know if it's free DLC or paid DLC, but they still have intentions of releasing more content for the collection, which is pretty darn cool in my opinion.
Shade tech cache detected.
I was gonna say, is no one here? But yeah, they're back here.
I started playing the latest Spider-Man game, which came out.
Oh yeah, I heard, yeah.
And like I know people kind of like, they really like it. They kind of lost their shit about it. Like it's fine. In my I've been playing it for I don't know 5 hours now. Like it's okay. What I don't like about it is it follows the same exact Assassin's Creed formula where you got to climb up to the tower, you got to activate it, and then your map now fills up with icons. You got to go to the map and you collect this, or you just take out the bad guy, and it's just the same thing over and over and over every single time. And then you get distracted by picking up the stupid backpacks and taking pictures of New York City, with your photography optional stuff. But it's fine. Like the combat's okay.
Is it fine?
Like swinging
you
a
said
spider.
It's fine like three fucking times.
Yeah, swinging is cool, but that's probably the coolest part of just the traversal. But it's not the greatest game where people are like, "Oh, this is like the best game ever." It's not.
Yeah, people were really super excited about that game. So you're probably going to get a lot of hate about that.
That's fine. I mean, I borrowed it from a friend, and I know the game is already like, it's like $30 everywhere now. It's like on sale and stuff. But when it gets down to like the $20 inevitable sale price, like sure, yeah, go ahead, pick it up. It's worth $20, but it's just not this like A+ game that everybody lost their shit about.
Yeah, I think very few things are.
What bothers, so it's like, here's this AAA game. This is what kind of bothers me in these AAA games nowadays, where it's like for example, Spider-Man is you just be kind of swinging around the streets, and then there's a car crash. And there you have to rescue two people. One person's in one car, another person's in another car, and you rescue them. And how the cars are placed is the exact same way as they always are. There's always the two characters, the NPCs that need to be saved. They're in the exact same spot. You save them the exact same way, and then you get the stupid cutscene where he lifts the car over his head and he puts it down. It's like the same cutscene every time too, and you do that a couple dozen times. Like how do they get away with that? Like you're doing literally the exact same thing. There is no variation. Like you do it once. I don't want to do this. Like let me save some people in a car, but like positions the cars a different way. It's literally just a copy and paste.
Put some havoc physics in there.
Put something, just anything, but you're redoing, and it's the same. You got to climb to the tower. You get the same animation. So there's all these same things just happening. You just do it a couple dozen times until you see the end. Like that's not fun. How are you get away with that? Like it's just lazy. You need time and development to just make a new scenario, but when you're copying and pasting the exact same thing and you're forcing the player to do this over and over again, guess what? That's called not fun.
Yep. And there will be like 30,000 people out there that are like, oh, there's so much depth to it that you're just not realizing.
Not at all. Not at all. So Anyway, so Spider-Man, that's the game that I'm playing recently. I got to get, because I bought, man, when did I, like October, November, I bought Octopath Traveler, still haven't opened that up. Mario Tennis Aces, still haven't opened that up.
So here's another unpopular opinion while we're at it. I don't like Octopath Traveler as much as everyone says they do.
I liked the demo because I played the hell out of the free demos. There's like 2 of them on the eShop. That's why I bought the full game. And then you're supposed to get some kind of like, bonus or perk or something if you played the demos in the full game. But
yeah, it's not that much.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, it's I
know you played the hell out of that game. Like
I
played
played
that.
a bunch of it because it was
Yeah.
like literally I can spoil why everyone liked it. It was literally just yay a fucking RPG because that was like this massive RPG, especially traditional RPG drought.
Yeah, yeah, you're right.
Like nothing had come out in that time period, and when that came out,
Detected.
like no traditional RPGs had come out in a really long,
Yeah.
time, and there was none, absolutely none on the Switch.
Yeah, especially one in like the old kind of 16-bit
Well, yeah, and
pixelated style.
that was bullshit to begin with, but let's avoid that.
They announced that they're making an Octopath for mobile. Did you see this?
Of course, Square is just about grabbing money, so nothing surprises me.
Oh yeah, that's the latest Octopath. They're like, yeah, we're making a new Octopath, and it's going to be for your phone.
Well, I mean, how many Final Fantasy 15s are there at this point?
Right. There's the real version. There's the Royal Edition. There's Pocket Edition. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and not only that, like I own a copy of Final Fantasy 15.
It's like, hey, Square, why don't you, I don't know, make Final Fantasy 7 that you announced 4 years ago now.
Oh, it's
how's
longer than that.
How's that coming along?
And they will
Yeah.
straight up say like, "Oh, that got put on the back burner because we wanted to finish 15, and then we had to finish Kingdom Hearts because
Right.
Nomura's working on it, so we couldn't even We couldn't even really get into finalized development until Nomura was off of Kingdom Hearts."
Yep.
And it's like, then you shouldn't have fucking announced it, should you?
Yeah.
Looks like a division agent took his
Yeah,
work
they
on
announced that way too early.
Yeah.
It's going to be one of those things, it's going to pull a Final Fantasy 13 where it's like, you know what, we're just going to put this on a whole different system now. Like, PS5 will be out. Okay, we're going to actually move this project to PS5.
So yeah, the Division agents, I don't know if I ever answered this, but the Division was supposed to be like, you're literally sleeper agents.
Yeah, that was the whole. Yeah, that's kind of the whole story. Is like you're just kind of there in case some crazy shit goes down, and sure enough, it does. Now it's time to spring into action.
like,
These are
you're-
just like regular dudes, and
Yeah, you're
with
supposed to,
families
but
and
you're
stuff.
supposed to be like super sleeper agents that no one knows about.
Yeah, like not even your family.
And then like this happens, and it's like, well, man, it's time to go into action. And the fucked up thing is, it's like, well, this happens, and everyone knows about the Division because I guess you're the only fucking law left or something.
Shade tech cache detected.
But
Yeah,
it's
that
just
was.
like,
Yeah,
I don't know about that. Like, I get that this is weird. Ooh, sure. You get like cosmetic equipment, and that shit is like super rare.
like purple sniper rifles.
Purple sniper rifles are kind of rare, but yellow shit is rarer. But like cosmetic stuff is like ultra fucking rare.
Yeah. For your character or for your weapons? For
your
both.
character, both. You can get both. Shotgun, and I think that's kind of a weak sniper rifle. Yeah, it's nothing impressive. That actually makes me weaker. Yeah, so you're supposed to be like these sleeper agents and stuff, and no one's supposed to know about you. But now everyone fucking knows about you, and no one thinks it's like creepy in any way, shape, or form. That like you were.
And
this...
there's like dozens of these.
No, there's like hundreds and hundreds,
or hundreds.
of you.
Oh, sure. That's right. That makes it even worse.
Like,
Yeah.
you are literally the only form of fucking law enforcement. Like, you go around stopping like ultra terrorists.
Did they ever say what the virus was that wiped everybody out, or how?
Yes,
Whoa, you just got one hit shot.
Oh, I'm super not supposed to be there, I think.
Jeez, that was like you got picked off from deep, one hit.
Oh yeah, I'm just like running around trying to unlock shit at this point.
There's no player versus player in this, no?
Yes, there is. It's the dark zone.
Oh.
You can get like really good drops there, but
if you die, you like lose your shit in the single player or anything, or you don't know yet.
Not if it's equipped, but if it's just in your inventory in the dark zone and it hasn't been scanned yet, you can lose it.
Mm.
So yeah, the dark zone is like full PvP, and people are dicks in it.
They always are in these types of games. It's unavoidable.
I mean, I can remember having like really good experiences in the dark zone, and it's funny because I used to play with friends and shit, and the friends that I would talk to, that I've talked to this time about it, and I'm like, yeah, blah blah blah. I remember when we used to do this in the dark zone, and he's like, that was never fun. And I'm like, what do you like? And he's like, that like it might have been a good time like one or two times, and I'm like, I was like, yeah, that was like that happened all the time. But whatever.
Yeah, I feel like this is the kind of game you could play as single player, but I think to get the most out of it, yeah, you got to play at least with another friend or two, right?
Yeah, it's probably way better if you have like a bunch of like people hanging out with
agents
you.
were stationed here during the early days of the outbreak. We're fortunate to keep the hostiles confined to the city, even if that means more problems for us.
And there we go.
You may be on your own out
That
there,
is
but we've got your back.
every
Good luck, Agent.
World War II
JTAG
looking
cache
motherfucker.
detected.
Yeah, that is every single.
Do you sign up for, when you play an Ubisoft game, do you sign up for their Uplay thing? You know what I'm talking
I
about?
have to
Like
play this through Uplay.
Oh, this is only on Uplay, isn't it?
Yes, this is.
Oh, yeah. See, now, okay, so I say that because when you play an Ubisoft game on Xbox, for example, there's like a thing in the main menu where it's like connect to Uplay, and then you connect it, and it's like it has like its own thing of achievements.
Yeah.
And then you get like your own like achievements that you unlock, and then you can unlock like other, like you get like coins or something, and then you can use those coins to like Ubisoft coins to like unlock other things in Ubisoft games.
Yeah, absolutely. And in this, I had like a shit ton, because on PC, like if it's an Ubisoft game, you have to play on Uplay.
Yes,
Like,
you're right.
It makes you go into the Uplay launcher. So I've been playing this on Uplay, and like your choice was like the only store that was selling this. Like they pulled this off of Steam. Like a friend of mine told me that, and I didn't believe him because like I was about to pre-order it. Like literally, when he told me that, I was about to pre-order it off of Steam.
Yeah, was it even? I thought it wasn't even. Was it even on Steam to begin with?
You could pre-order it off of Steam,
but you still had to buy it and then wind up playing it through the Uplay.
Well, that's the thing, is you could always, like on Steam stuff. So like on the Trials games, like I own a bunch of Trials games.
Yeah.
Through Steam, and I think I've gotten them to like review before. Like I think one of them I got to review or something weird like that. Let's just say that's how it worked.
Yeah.
on the PC, to play the Trials games, you actually have to go into Uplay. Uplay sees you have the game and just adds it to your Uplay account.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so I have
because
it on Steam. So Steam is like,
Yeah.
you activated this through Steam, so
Okay.
it's technically a Steam game. But since I launched it through Uplay, Uplay's like, basically like, yeah, you don't have to use Steam anymore if you don't want to. And it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, I'm still going to use Steam.
Yeah,
As
well,
much
yeah.
as you want to pretend that I'm not, I'm still going to use Steam on a regular basis. And everyone's trying to switch over to the Epic Store now.
Yeah.
And that's just not gonna fucking
Incoming
happen.
hostiles detected.
Like, I am not switching over to that fucking store.
Request.
Well, yeah, you got all your stuff on Steam to go to a different platform now.
It's not even fucking that. It's like, like I said about like the reviews. It's just like that game. It doesn't even feel like Steam when Steam first launched, because at least then they were like trying to be a storefront. And they would like, I can remember like, you used to be able to like watch movies on Steam. Like, that was a long time ago.
I remember that, yeah.
But like, once upon a time, people would like there were indie movies and stuff that would like be like, yeah, it's free and we're releasing on Steam. And it's like, that's really fucking weird, but I'll download it for free. And I think like Indie Game the movie released there. You know, and it was like just like stuff like that, and it was really weird, but Steam would do shit like that was just like, we're gonna throw shit against the wall and see what sticks. And
Sure.
like,
Yeah,
if we can, you know, we're never gonna be like a movie distribution site, but, you know, like a straight up movie distribution site, but if this becomes one of those things that like, all of a sudden, yeah, that was on me. I shouldn't have stood in the open and tried to...
Yeah, you gotta wait and cover, man.
Yeah, that was that. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking there. But, you know, Steam was like, you know, like, maybe, like, you know, this is something that'll, like, people will just be like, yeah, I don't mind buying movies on Steam. And it's just like, oh, you know, okay. And I certainly didn't do it. You know, I downloaded a couple, like, free indie weird movies that popped up there.
Yeah. Did they have anime on there at any point?
I think they might have.
For like a little bit, or yeah.
I think they've pulled everything off, and Steam's weird. Like, if you've bought it on Steam, it'll always be available to you. But if they pull the listing down, it's just gone.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. But there's so much stuff on Steam, and if you're a PC gamer, you're going to be going to Steam.
Yeah. Well, like, I'm already on Steam. Like, I don't know why I would go somewhere else.
At this point, yeah. So it's because they were just like the,
And
you know, kind of the
people are
first.
like, oh, people just want to go there for another launcher, and it's like, Ubisoft, or not Ubisoft, fuck. The Epic Store has, like, their terms of service is really fucking weird, too. And, you know, they're trying to act like me, you know, oh, you know, we, you know, don't necessarily mean that, but it's like, it's half written like spyware. Like, that they have the right to, like, turn on your camera and look at you grade stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's nice.
Yeah. So, it's that level of stuff that you're just like, if you read their terms of service, people have just pointed out shit that's in there that it's like, you know, maybe you don't want to use this. And it's like, yeah, what kind of, like...
But what else, you know, really kind of what else...
company writes this into their terms of service in the first place? Like, oh, guys, we would never do that. Yeah, I don't question that you wouldn't do that. What I'm concerned about is that it's there. and that someone thought that you might want to at some point.
Yeah, I mean, I played a lot of, Ubisoft games over the years on 360 and Xbox One, and I've, like the Assassin's Creeds, and
Electronic device detected.
so I played a couple of the Trials games too. I think, they went like free, they were like the free Xbox game of that month or whatever. And I know I got a bunch of those Ubisoft like gold coin points that I think they just changed like their policy, like those things like are going to expire now or something. Like there wasn't an expiration date on them before.
But Nintendo's doing it, so why don't we?
But Nintendo's absolutely doing it.
And if it's okay for Nintendo, that means that the industry can do it, right? That's the way it works.
Yep, they want you to keep coming back for more.
Detecting additional hostile contacts.
What exactly happened here? This was a public execution and like 30 fucking people showed up.
There's a lot of guys.
Yeah! What the?
Whoa, you just got blasted. That was like one shot.
Yeah. Alright, so that's been like an hour.
Yeah, so that has been The Division 2 on PC. Not a bad game. I mean,
I'm just bad at it.
well, you're already in the level in the 20s, so you've been playing a lot. Obviously, you got to have some skill to reach the level that you're at.
I like to just assume I'm persistent and not skillful.
But yeah, I like it. It doesn't seem like a bad game. So go check it out. It's available on everything now. We are from MyGamer.com. Go check us out there. We post news, reviews, our streams. Bunch of new content came up this month and a lot more still to come. You could follow me on Twitter at ZackGaz, ZackGaz. You could follow us on Twitter at MyGamerNews. And until next time, thank you for watching and game on.